Hello everyone, this is Shivyogi here. So today I would be talking about a very common problem all across the world and quite famous among both men and women. And it is as written thyroid. So basically I would be covering about what is thyroid gland and what are its functions and how does actually it helps in your body functioning, and what are the issues if something goes wrong with the thyroid glands, and how we can reduce or suppress it with the help of nutritional supplements. So to begin with, I would like to make you understand what exactly is the thyroid gland. Okay, so when it comes to physical appearance of the thyroid gland, it is actually situated just below your Adam's apple. If you just try to feel around your neck, it is just situated above the windpipe over here, and it is in the shape of a butterfly, and it is wrapped around your windpipe if you feel it just before that. So basically it is a very small gland, but the function of it is more than any other glands. So what it basically does is it helps in regulating the metabolism of a body. So when I tell about the term called metabolism, so it means a lot for a normal functioning of the body, because entire your body health depends upon the metabolism. So how your food is broken down into proteins, carbohydrates and fats, and how it is absorbed into your body. So the thyroid gland plays a major role in doing that. Now, what actually is thyroid issues, I will be telling you later. But apart from the metabolism functioning of body, thyroid gland also helps in maintaining and regulating the temperature of the body. Also, it helps in having a very good bone health. That means it helps in production of calcium and maintaining the bone health. Along with this, there are many multiple functions of thyroid gland which can be spoken in later stages. But as of now, I would be sticking it to thyroid functioning. So everybody by the term thyroid, they normally when feel that thyroid is some kind of already a issue or something, but it is not. Thyroid is a gland, and it produces certain hormones which we normally call as a T3 and T4. The scientific terms is not very important, but you have to understand it produces two types of hormones. So these hormones, or the thyroid gland itself, functions basically on the iodine mineral. So that is the main mineral because of which the T3 and T4 are produced, because they are made up of iodine atoms. Now, if I tell the normal functioning and what actually happens with the help of thyroid gland, I would like to explain with the help of a analogy. So suppose as you see in the picture, there is a car, and everybody knows that car is moving from one place to another place is because of the car engine and how good is the engine. And when it goes from one place to another place, it requires certain energy or a fuel to move. So the car engine should be fed up with the fuel. So if you consider the same analogy in thyroid gland, so your thyroid gland is a car engine, and to function it properly, you require a fuel which is normally we call it as a iodine. So this is what helps in functioning of a thyroid gland. Now, if I talk about what are the issues happening in the thyroid gland when there is a malfunctioning, so that I will explain with the same analogy. So suppose there is a car is moving at a certain speed, and because it is same as production of a normal thyroid hormones, and your body is functioning normally. Similarly, when the car is moving at a normal speed with a normal fuel, everything is going smooth. So suppose when you want to move a bit fast or you want to go slow, what you do as a driver, you step up on an accelerator, or you take your legs out of an accelerator so that your car moves fast, or if you want to slow down, you take out your leg. Similarly, you control the car speed. So same case happens with the thyroid gland also. So thyroid gland is controlled by another gland which is situated in the brain, that is called pituitary gland. So pituitary glands acts as a driver for thyroid gland. So it helps in maintaining the T3 and T4 hormone levels in the body. So you can say it commands the thyroid gland. Pituitary gland commands the thyroid gland. So this is one simple analogy I can tell. So now when you come to issues, what actually happens when there is a problem in the thyroid gland. So one such issue, we normally term it as a hypothyroid. So what happens in hypothyroid is basically the gland is underactive. The thyroid gland is underactive, by which I mean is the T3 and T4 hormones are produced less than the normal required levels in the body. So because of which what happens is the pituitary gland signals the thyroid gland that since you are producing very less levels of hormones, please produce it more. So this is what the signal is given. So this signal is given by pituitary gland with the help of another hormone which it secretes, that is called TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, that is produced by pituitary gland. So when T3 and T4 are not able to produce are well produced, TSH helps in maintaining that levels of hormones in the body. So now what happens is, if you take a blood test of that particular person or something, what you will see is your T3 and T4 levels are normal, but when you take the levels of TSH, it will be quite high than the normal range. So that's when you identify the person is having a hypothyroidism. So now when it comes to causes of hypothyroidism and also what are the symptoms. So cause is basically this kind of issue is basically we call it as a autoimmune diseases. So what happens in this is basically the immune system mistakenly attacks its own organs or the cells in the body, because of which there is a damage to that particular organ or a gland or tissues, etc. So this is one of the such regions because of which there is a problem. There are many other reasons which may lead to more complications. So when it comes to symptoms of hypothyroidism, so there is one, basically as I told, a very basic function of thyroid gland is metabolism. So when your hormones are not produced in a certain limit, what happens is your metabolism slows down. So when your metabolism slows down, the same is with your heart rate also. Your heart rate comes down, slow rate. So if you just have a common sense, then you can figure out that when your metabolism is slow, the person automatically feels tired. He is not that much active. He feels always fatigueness, and there will be constant weight gain issues, and he will be suffering from constipation also, because your metabolism is not good, your energy is not converted well, so everything accumulates as a fat, and that's why you gain body weight. So if you see or hear from the people that they talk that like, okay, he's having a thyroid, or the woman is having a thyroid, that's why they have gained the weight, and that's why they are not able to lose the weight. So this is one of the main reason why this happens. Also, the person is having a very sensitiveness towards the cold. So even if it is the normal temperature of the water or the outside temperature, the person feels more colder than the other people. So this is one of the major symptoms of that person having hypothyroidism. Apart from that, when it comes to hyperthyroidism, so this condition is where it is opposite to the hypothyroidism. So what happens in hyperthyroidism is your levels of T3 and T4 are produced more than the normal required. So we call it as a overactive thyroid gland. So in this case, what happens is when there is a more production of T3 and T4, so pituitary gland again signals the thyroid gland that see your hormone levels are produced more than the normal required, so please lessen it. So the TSH hormone in terms regulates the production of T3 and T4. So when this limitation exceeds after certain period, that's when your abnormality starts happening in the thyroid gland, and because of which there are other severity complications happening, such as the swelling of your thyroid gland, which may again lead to a very common disease called goiter. And also when the functioning becomes more and more problematic, the very severe conditions like cancer, thyroid cancer can also take place. So when it comes to symptoms of hyperthyroid, they are basically again opposite to the what hypothyroidism takes place. So here what happens is the person is always hyperactive. Hyperactive in the sense having high metabolism rate. Whatever he eats, it instantly gets converted into energy, or he may not put on any kind of muscles. He may be having weight loss issues, and the person will be always feeling very irritating kind of thing, and the heart rate will be a little bit more than the normal pace, and they will be very sensitive towards the heat. There are other reasons also, such as hair loss thing, and also nervousness, anxiety. All these things are the symptoms of hyperthyroidism patients. So normally when you check the blood reports, you will see that either T4 level or T3 will be more than the normal, higher than the normal limits, and TSH will be the normal in terms of limit. So that's when you identify it as a hyperthyroid case. So if you understand all those things, you should be familiar with the complications when you don't take care, or when you don't identify the hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism in your body. So it may lead to many complications, as I told, that you have a weight gain issues also, because of which again you may have a problems associated with the heart, that is high cholesterol levels, or lipid profile will be over the limits, and many other diseases, Graves disease we call. So all related to thyroid malfunctioning, because as I said, thyroid is basically very important for your entire body functioning. And one thing you should remember is that if your thyroid levels are not within the limit, then you are not working properly. That means your body is not working properly. So thyroid functioning is very important to identify as a healthy person. So last I would like to tell about how the supplementation would help it to reduce it or completely suppress the thyroid issues. So first I will talk about hypothyroid. So when it comes to hypothyroid, the person we normally recommend the very powerful nutritional supplements from Nutralite #1 brand. The first thing is multivitamin, that is daily. So as we know that the one single tablet of daily contains almost 13 and 11 minerals, vitamins and minerals. So among that, iodine is also there. So as I said, the main fuel for your thyroid gland is iodine. So normally iodine rich food or nutrient rich food has to be taken, but apart from that, the supplementation of iodine is also very important to have a proper levels of iodine in your body. So that's why we recommend one tablet of daily each. So again, after daily, we also recommend protein powder. Why I am telling protein powder is because when there is a malfunctioning of a thyroid gland, over the period of time, thyroid gland may get damaged because of either high production of hormones or less production of hormones. So in order to recover from the damaged cells and because of the attack of free radicals, you need to provide it with a proper protein intake, with a protein rich diet, as well as protein supplements. So normally we do not recommend all plant protein in this case. Why? Because when it comes to production of enzymes which is produced by T3 and T4, what basically soya protein does is it may have a chance of interfering the production of those important enzymes. So that's why it is good that we do not give the normal protein. Instead, we suggest them as a excess whey protein. So the excess whey protein you can take 1 scoop per day in the morning. We also recommend salmon omega, that is fish oil. So as we know, it has a very multi benefits, but among that, which may be helpful for thyroid gland is because it is associated with the metabolism. So whatever we eat, it has to be directly reached out to a body, and the nutrients have to be entered into the cells. So what salmon omega does is it increases the cell permeability. So because of which the nutrients can enter into cell very easily, and also it helps in removing the bad fat and lessens the bad cholesterol. So that plays a very important role also. Apart from this, we also recommend the ashwagandha. So ashwagandha is again very natural and powerful antioxidant in terms of herbal range of Nutralite products, and this helps in your normalizing your nervous system right from your brain to entire parts of the body. And when you take with a normal warm milk with little bit of pinch of turmeric and have a ashwagandha tablet maybe in the after dinner, it will be very beneficial for you to suppressing the thyroid malfunctioning. We also recommend the calcium and magnesium. We normally call it as a CalMag-D. Why we give is because we understand that thyroid gland is also helpful in maintaining the bone health. So which is because of the production of calcium, absorption of the calcium. So CalMag-D is a very powerful supplement, and also vitamin D is not available in any of the food sources. So it has to be only taken from the external source. So not everybody is exposed to sunlight, and they do not get the right kind of vitamin D from the sunlight also. So that's why we recommend the supplements which is containing vitamin D. These are the very important supplements when it comes to hypothyroid. For hyperthyroid, we normally recommend the same products, but in hyperthyroid you can here give the all plant protein. Along with all plant protein, you can also suggest the person with the concentrated fruits and vegetables, which again contains the functions and the features of all the fruits and vegetables which is required for a healthy functioning of the thyroid gland. If the person is having a good rate of chances of recovery, and if he wants to have a better results, then we can also suggest him as a multi-keratin. So these are the few facts and suggestions when it comes for carrying a thyroid care. Hope it helps, and thank you.